Hello viewers, in this video we are going to discuss about this SIMATIC S7-1200 which has a CPU 1215C DC/DC/DC memory. Okay, so these are the specification. It having 14 digital inputs, 10 digital outputs and 2 analog inputs, 2 analog outputs. Power supply required for this PLC is 24 volt DC, and it is having a memory of 125 kilobytes. Okay, and it also have LED indicators for mode of operation, like if the PLC is in run or stop mode, and other if it is showing some error because of some PLC configuration, and if the PLC is under maintenance. So these are the three status LED indications. Then we have indicators for digital input, and also we have LED indicators for digital output, and there is a LAN connection, and we can have Profinet connection if you want to interface our PLC with HMI or our TIA software. We can use normal Ethernet cable. And then so if I talk about the PLC memory, the smallest, we all know that the smallest unit in any memory is nothing but bit, right? So if I take about a single bit, it can store two states, either 0 or 1. Suppose I'm connecting some digital input devices like push buttons, toggle switches or digital sensor. It will give only two values, either 0 or 1. So a single bit is enough to store such data, right? Now if I require more precision, like more number of bits, then the next step is byte. 1 byte is equal to 8 bits, correct? So what is the advantage? If I have a single bit, I can store only two state, either 0 or 1. But if I have a byte which include 8 bits, using a byte I can store 2 raised to 8, that is 256 number of state I can see. So if you see this table, then you will understand from 2 raised to 0 to 2 raised to 7. So 0 I can represent with all zeros, all bit 0. 1 I can represent with the 7 zeros and 1 1. Similarly, last state 255, this I can represent with all bits as 1, right? So this is what it means. The next state is, or I can one more point I want to add, we could use this, we can have different standards to save this data. Suppose I'm going to store integers, then 7th bit indicates the sign of that value. That means it could be either positive or negative sign, right? So this indicates, if I want to represent the positive numbers, 0 indicates the positive number and 1 indicates the negative number. So likewise it will go. And then next one is if I want to have more precision, like so now we have talk about the bit and byte, right? So if you need more precision, then we can go for word. 1 word is equal to 16 bits or 2 bytes. So using a single word, we can store 65,536 states of a single number. Okay, so this many states will be there, so precision will increase. So next one is how we refer to a location or memory. There we have to go for addressing, right? CPU has 3 important memories which can be used frequently. First is input image memory, then second one main memory, third one output image memory. So if I talk about main memory, then only the representation will change, remaining theory will be same for input and output image memory. So for main memory, that is represented with a capital letter M, okay, and its structure is shown below. The first column indicates byte, then indicates this bits, right? Bit 0 to bit 7. So each byte has 8 bits, right? Each byte has 8 bits. Now if I use this format, for example M0.6, M indicates that it's a main memory, right? Main memory, and 0 indicates the byte number, and the number after this dot indicates this bit number. Okay, so main memory, 0 indicates byte number, sixth is bit number. So this M0.6 is the address of a memory location. Okay, it's a bit address of a memory location. Okay, so this memory location M0.6 can store either 0 or 1, right? So we can store the digital input values in this particular memory location, or same way we can store any of these two states, either 0 or 1. We can go for this main memory addressing. Similarly, if I talk about the second example, M1.4, this is the address of memory location, that particular bit address, and M indicates the main memory, 1 indicates the byte number, and the number which is coming after the dot indicates the bit number, bit 4. So this position will come over here, M1.4. Similarly, we can have M5.2 also. Then if I want to refer the whole of a byte, right, then we need to write just byte number. For example, if I'm writing byte 0, I mean byte addressing, then 1 byte is equal to 8 bits, right? So instead of writing like if I just want to refer the enter byte, then this can be the representation. MB0 indicates the byte 0 address, MB1 indicates the byte 1 addressing, up to we can have MB 255. Now if you need a word, W is inserted between M and the byte number, right? Like in the same main memory, if I want to represent that with a word, right? So then I have to represent. So for example, MW0, this indicates the address, right, which consists of byte 0 and byte 1, right? One word is equal to 2 bytes. Similarly, MW3 indicates byte 3 and byte 4. Now one point you have to note down is that if you are using MW3, this MW3 consists of byte 3 and byte 4, right, to represent a number, then we should not use MW4. Why? What is the reason? In MW4, that consists of byte 4 and byte 5, right? Byte 4 and this is byte 5, but already byte 4 is used in this MW3. So if you are using MW3, the next word address should not be 4, it should be either 5 or any other word number, okay, any other number. So this is one point. Now if I talk about the input and output image addressing, same format will be there, but instead of M we have to use I to represent the input image addressing, and to represent the output image addressing you can use the capital letter Q to represent the address. So that's all about this CPU memory.